Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Steps 4 through 6. The Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst Carl Jung wrote in a letter to Bill W. explaining the Latin phrase, spiritus contra spiritum. Dr. Jung stated, "You see, alcohol in Latin is spiritus, and you use the same word for the highest religious experience, as well as for the most depraving poison. The helpful formula, therefore, is spirits against the Holy Spirit." In Romans 8:6 it says, "If your sinful old self is the boss over your mind, it leads to death. But if the Holy Spirit is the boss over your mind, it leads to life and peace." It is the Holy Spirit that can help you battle against addiction. 2 Corinthians 10:3-4 says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we don't wage war according to the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not of the flesh, but mighty before God, to the throwing down of strongholds." The battlefield of addiction is a combination of chemical dependencies, triggers, cravings, and the enemy of your soul. The Holy Spirit knows what you need to fight these things that are coming against you. In chapter 6 of Ephesians, it talks about putting on the armor of God to fight the battle against the enemy. It says, "Wear the full armor of God, wear God's armor, so that you can fight against the devil's clever tricks." Our fight is not against people on earth. We are fighting against the rulers and authorities and the powers of this world's darkness. We are fighting against the spiritual powers of evil in the heavenly places. Take the sword of the Spirit. That sword is the teaching of God. Pray in the Spirit at all times. Pray with all kinds of prayers and ask for everything you need. To do this, you must always be ready. Never give up. It is the help of the Holy Spirit who empowers you to walk free from the bondage of addiction.
However, I am telling you nothing but the truth when I say it is profitable, good, expedient, advantageous for you that I go away. Because if I do not go away, the Comforter, Counselor, Helper, Advocate, Intercessor, Strengthener will not come to you. But if I go away, I will send him to you, to be in close fellowship with you. But the Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things and bring to your remembrance all things that I said to you. However, when he, the Spirit of truth, has come, he will guide you into all truth. For he will not speak on his own authority, but whatever he hears he will speak, and he will tell you things to come. If you love me, obey my commandments, and I will ask the Father, and he will give you another advocate who will never leave you. He is the Holy Spirit who leads into all truth.
In Romans 8:26, Paul tells us that the Holy Spirit is our prayer partner. And in the same way, by our faith, the Holy Spirit helps us with our daily problems and in our praying. For we don't even know what we should pray for, nor how to pray as we should. But the Holy Spirit prays for us with such feeling that it cannot be expressed in words. In Ephesians 3:16, Paul tells us that the Holy Spirit will empower us. I pray that from his glorious, unlimited resources, he will empower you with inner strength through his Spirit. As Jesus is filling you with the Holy Spirit, you will have a strong desire to be honest with yourself, confessing your guilt and surrendering those things to him. The Holy Spirit can open your eyes to see those things in your life that have kept you in bondage. The Holy Spirit can provide you with the power and guidance needed to live the life that God has planned for you. Step 4. Honesty. We made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Step 5. Confession. We admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Step 6. Surrender. We were entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. When we open ourselves up to Jesus and we are filled with His Holy Spirit, we can discover a truer version of ourselves, one that is willing to look within and confront our deepest sins and shames. As we adopt a more honest and humble perspective, we can more easily come clean about those aspects of ourselves that hold us back and keep us in bondage. With Jesus by our side, we are empowered with the strength and guidance needed to start living the life He intended for us, free from sin, guilt, and shame. Step 4 is about honesty. Look within, taking an honest look at yourself. As you open your heart and soul to the Holy Spirit, He reveals those elements of your life which are holding you in bondage. It may not be easy, but with the power of the Holy Spirit filling you from head to toe, it's possible to be honest with yourself and accept your faults, while also realizing your strengths.
I used to work in academia and often felt like people ran away when I told them what I did. I was a professor. As I got older, alcohol became a way for me to cope with my failures and disappointments. I would drink way too much every night and then try to get through the next day without anyone noticing. Drinking was taking over my life. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop drinking. I had tried to change everything and everyone around me, and everyone around me could see that I had a problem, but I refused to admit it until I got in serious trouble and was thrown into jail. After that, I decided to quit drinking completely, but I couldn't do it alone. I needed help from someone else who had the same problem as me. That's when I found Alcoholics Anonymous and started on my path to recovery. As I look back, something must have happened to me during those 2 days between jail and AA. Something happened to me that had never happened before. I repeat, I don't know what it was. Some forces must have been at work which I do not understand. But on those 2 days, I made a decision. Step 3. I had made lots of promises, but never a decision. Though it seems to me due to the alcohol, I was at the time too confused and fogged up to make much of one. This time, I believe, it was the guiding hand of God, or, as we Baptists say, the Holy Spirit. I like to think that it was just that, and coupled with my own attempt to take on the 12 steps to recovery. Whatever it was, I've been dry ever since. That was more than 6 years ago. This is what I have concluded. In recovery, we must let go to succeed. We need to give away what has been given to us without expecting anything in return. We also need to be prepared to suffer. We must deal with the emotions of sadness, loss, fear, and guilt before we can get better. Finally, it's like being born again. Our old life dies away, and a new one is born as we learn how to live differently. That's how we die to addiction and live in recovery.
Reluctant and fearful, I turned my eyes into the hollow darkness inside. I had to see what was haunting me. I'd lost sight life years ago, and I had lost complete control. I've got to find some sanity. The first thing I saw was a heart of stone. failures that I had known while trying to escape reality. Looking deeper, I saw the scars that comes from not knowing who you are. And I became someone I wasn't meant to be. I'm looking inside, I don't like what I see. I've got to make a change. I'm looking inside, I don't recognize me. I just can't stay the same. I've got to change. I saw raging anger, ready to destroy every relationship and steal every joy, leaving me to deal with the shame. I saw selfish greed taking what wasn't mine, stealing whatever I needed at the time to get another high to numb the pain. I'm looking inside, I don't like what I see. I've got to make a change. I'm looking inside,